Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Javon.
And I'm Calvin.
Welcome back.
Sup, bitches?
How was your week?
Same as every other week. It happened, it ended, the weekend started.
Okay.
Nothing major.
All right. Well, I'm excited. Hell in a Cell is supposed to be happening this weekend. I plan to watch the premium live event for WWE on Peacock. I had to buy YouTube TV in order to watch wrestling because they took it off of Hulu, which is annoying. And I hope they get rid of that soon. Raw is supposed to be moving to Netflix soon. They've already changed the parental rating and went from TV PG to TV PG 14. They're cursing a little bit more. And there's a lot of talk about it being the new Levesque era. They're like really hyping up Triple H and on what he's bringing in terms of content originality. So
Boo.
it'll be interesting to see. They
Next.
also did a callback to you know how in the
Okay.
Vince McMahon documentary they talked about Shawn Michaels putting that sock in his shorts.
Sure.
So they had CM Punk do the same thing. And he's at NXT, which is what Shawn Michaels runs. So he's in these tiny shorts with like a sock in his shorts. And Triple H stops him and goes, "Hold up. You can't do all of that." And he goes, "Do all of what?" And he's like, between the hat and the shorts and everything, this is a lot going on. And then Shawn Michaels shows up and he goes, "I can't have you doing this." He's like, take it off right now. So CM Punk goes to take off his shorts. He's like, "No, not the shorts. The shorts are fine. Give me your hat." It was hilarious and a nice little callback. It was cute.
Sure.
But people are like, DX is back. And that was their group, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the Suck It era?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That-
Anywho.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I plan to watch that this weekend. Okay. You want to jump into what we're covering this week?
Sure.
Okay. So we gave up on 90 Day the Other Way. It's just getting boring. It's the same. Does he want to have kids? Does he not? Who cares? Boo, whatever.
She gave up on it.
I definitely did.
She quits.
It's basically the end. But we did watch Life After Lockup, the first episode for this latest Life After Lockup. The sequencing for this is so weird because it's technically still season 5. Lord knows. Anyway, it's Life After Lockup. And we also watched to help support and celebrate Black movies. Calvin said somebody requested to him that we watch bad Black movies again from Tubi. So we found a Geechee One production to do Calvin's people proud, and that was Fangirl.
Number 1, no. Number 2,
What part
it's,
no?
It's a spooktacular.
What part no?
My people, no.
They're from South Carolina.
Whatever. This is
You're Geechee. They're Geechee.
This is the bad spooktacular. First of all, there's only 2 people on that whole production that was Geechee.
And you even knew about the magazine they had.
Moving right along to That Happened with Joe. Skibbity paps.
So,
What did Diddy?
real quick, there's
did
new
Diddy do
charges
now?
for Diddy. I think 109 charges dropped recently for Diddy, including an allusion to, I say allusion, but an allegation that a 9-year-old might have been in part of his dealings with these freak offs and potential prostitution, whatever.
What else? Was there another a donkey too or something?
I don't know. Was there?
I'm just asking.
I didn't hear anything about a donkey.
It's amazing how everybody's involved now.
It's been everybody though.
I just think, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be punished. I just think it's hilarious that all of a sudden now everything is coming to light.
I think that's par for the course. You know what I mean? Like when one domino falls, all the other ones eventually
or
do as well.
What I say, we think coming to light, even though we all knew he was a freak.
You can know he's a freak, but it's the difference between knowing he's a freak and not being able to do anything, and then now being able to do so.
The reason we're able to do something now is because the people who he was running with no longer see him as a viable means of financial gain.
That has not been confirmed.
Okay. The people who protected him this whole time were protecting him. Now all of a sudden, the floodgates just randomly opened.
I'm just saying that is a nice controversy for you, but it has not been confirmed
All right,
on the
whatever.
paper.
Whatever. I'm just saying. it's kind of suspicious.
Okay.
That's all. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm pretty sure he did everything they're saying he did. I'm just saying,
Here's what I learned new. Apparently, a white party meant what kind of girls were going to be at that party, and I didn't know he had black parties. Did you know that?
yeah,
I did not know he had black parties, and apparently that also meant what kind of girls were going to be there.
they all have
And
theme
guys,
parties. They all have theme parties.
so some of the 109 accusations that have been added are also from men. So it's very interesting. But in light of that, some new accusations have come out against Garth Brooks. Do you know who Garth Brooks is?
The dude opposite of Achy Breaky Heart dude.
Opposite? What do
Yeah.
you mean? What do you mean opposite of achy breaky heart, dude?
He was his person who he was going up against who was big at the time, just like him.
Incorrect. Billy Ray Cyrus does not have the same catalog of hits that Garth Brooks does.
I never said he
Garth
did.
Brooks was the king of country for a long
I
time.
never said he had the same.
You said he was his opposite.
He was when he was the big name for the time he was the big name, Garth Brooks was the other big name.
Billy Ray Cyrus was a one-hit wonder. You know that, right? He was a one-hit wonder.
Okay, that one hit was big enough to make him the face of country music for a little bit.
Okay.
Just like all our one-hit wonders in hip hop, so to speak. For like a second, they were the face.
This is a very interesting.
That's all.
I don't even know why I'm fine with you. You don't listen to country music. Anywho,
Exactly.
An accusation came out. Apparently, they're alleging that he's basically the Diddy of country music.
Which leads me to believe he's no longer making them money like he used to. So now he's expendable too.
I don't know. So the case with this one is it's one accuser. She's saying it happened like in 2019. So not even during the height of his career. She's saying it happened in 2019. I believe, I might be wrong, but I think she was his makeup artist on tour. And according to her, allegedly, he kind of like forced himself on her. Many questions. It'll be interesting to see what shakes out of this because that wasn't that long ago.
Girl, take this. The devil don't know how to write a love song, penis.
But I mean, it will be interesting to see how that all works out and what shakes out of that. The last thing I wanted to talk about was about Murder Rugs. I don't know.
Is that a rapper or a rap group?
No. I don't know if you've come across it on your socials yet. There's a lady out of Ohio. She's a mommy blogger. So basically, she talks about what it's like to be a mom, raising kids, being pregnant, that kind of a thing. She started doing a day-to-day about upgrading her home. Her and her boyfriend bought a house, and they're about to install a new fence in the backyard. She works out of the sunroom that faces the backyard, and she came in one day and noticed that a bunch of stuff was in disarray on the desk. Stuff was moved around, and when she opened up her laptop, the screen was shattered. And she was like, I think my house is haunted. I think I have a ghost. As she was talking about that, she finds out that the neighbor next door died the day that they moved in. So now this is adding fuel to her theory that there might be a ghost in the house, right? So then they go to start digging further in the backyard for the fence post, and they find a rug buried under where they're going to dig their fence post. And they're like, that's weird. And as they continue to dig around it, they notice it's a rolled up rug. And they're like, who buries a rug in the backyard?
Someone who's killed somebody.
That's what a lot of people started guessing. So she was like, that can't be right. Also, there's not a huge tree, but there's a tree that's like almost right on top of it. So if they were going to dig up the rug, they'd have to get rid of the tree, and they weren't sure they wanted to do all of that. So they're like, let's just build a fence. But because she's putting this all on her social media, everybody is like, girl, this might be a dead body. You need to get the cops involved or dig some more and find out what's going on. So she's like, fine. So she starts digging up the tree. She finds out the tree that she's digging up is an expensive ass tree. It's a tree that's worth like easily $1,000 that she's ruining to get to this rug. So she's like, why would somebody plant an expensive ass tree right here? None of this is making sense. So then people were like, oh, maybe it's a pet. Maybe a pet died. They rolled it in this rug and they put that tree over it for memorialization. She's like, that's weird. So maybe I'll stop digging then. If this is a pet, this is not worth it for me to keep damaging my property and digging all this stuff up because now I'm having to dig under the deck and do all kinds of stuff. But they were like, you should still get the police involved just in case it's a human person. So she calls the police. And she's like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I just bought this home. We're digging a fence in the backyard, and we came across this rug that's rolled up under it. Is it at all possible for somebody to come check this out? Could I get cadaver dogs to come out just to make sure, like, there's nothing crazy? The local police come out and they're like, yeah, that for sure is a rug. We're gonna have to call homicide if you want to dig deeper into this. And she's like, okay, but she doesn't hear back from them. So then she's about to put it to rest because it's been a few days. She hasn't heard anything from the police. So she's like, I'm just gonna put the fence in. We're gonna call it a day. Her followers are like, no, call the cops again. You need to make sure, like, if this is a body, you get it taken care of. She's about to call the cops, but then the homicide detectives call her instead, and they're like, "Can we check it out?" She's like, "Sure, you guys can come check it out." They've discovered that as deep as this thing is dug, they can't do it with regular shovels. They're gonna have to get an excavator to do all that. So the police are like, "Okay, we'll go do that." The police are like, "We might have to, like, really basically damage your property to get to the rest of this rug." Yada yada yada. TikTok is telling her to get a lawyer just to make sure, she's covered on her end for any damages that might be happening while the police are doing this so that she can get reimbursed. But now she's like, well, let's just see. They're going to bring the cadaver dogs before they start doing all the digging. I don't think it's going to go any further than this. I think they're going to get the cadaver dogs. They're not going to find anything. And I'll just dig my fence post. They're like, cool. Cadaver dogs come. First dog comes in. Turns out, when cadaver dogs sniff around that area, if they sit down, it means that they smell somebody dead. A person. They smell a person dead. First dog sits down. She's like, okay. It had just been raining, so smells tend to rise. Dogs' noses are sensitive. They're like, it could just be a one-off. We usually have 2 dogs run this test to get a confirmation. She's like, okay. Second dog comes in, sits down. So now they're like, oh, fuck. So police are like, well, we're going to bring in the excavator. So they dig up the place. She's doing all her videos. She did a live accidentally while the cadaver dogs were there. She wasn't supposed to be doing the live, but she did. It was a whole thing of like, does she have a dead body on her property? So they dig it up finally. They dig up the rug. Nothing's in the rug. It's just a rolled up rug. So then more questions start populating. What did the cadaver dog smell then? Because both of them sat down. Why would somebody bury a rug? And why would they plant an expensive tree on top of it? The homicide detective said, we're going to take this rug for further testing because they haven't confirmed or denied it yet, but they may or may not have found like blood residue on the rug, which would have prompted the dogs to sit. So, but they haven't confirmed or denied that part. So for the most part, for this lady, she gets her house back now. She gets to put her fence in and call it a day. But now the theory that's running is whoever put that rug down there probably killed somebody, used that rug to carry them wherever they carried them to, and then buried that rug because it was evidence. Called it a day. It was quite the adventure. It was an adventure. Yeah, anything?
Cool story.
Calvin.
Also something about something similar happened in South Carolina, but a little different. So I don't know if this during the hurricane or after the hurricane happened, but apparently, what?
Mm?
What's wrong?
This tastes like lime soda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna drink it.
Anywho, I'll go fix it. So I guess they was on his property and they found just dead bodies on his property.
They found physical bodies?
Yeah, they found actual dead bodies on his property.
Oh my God.
And they started arresting him. Like, we arrested him before. They're like, sir, we found a whole
How'd
thing
they
of
find
dead
the bodies? How'd they even get that far?
on your property.
How'd they even get that far? What even prompted them to look for these bodies?
I gotta finish watching.
You got a computer. You can look. You can get a summary. Was it part of the real Elm Street thing?
No,
Oh,
it's like I saw some YouTube dude that's talking about possible serial killer in South Carolina, whatever, and they just like went on his property.
mm-hmm. So they went on this property. They found multiple
Yeah.
physical bodies. and they were gonna arrest the homeowners. Well, I mean, they would be people of interest. I don't know. Well, I guess they would have grounds to arrest them because they own the property.
2 bodies were found on the rural property of a South Carolina man linked to 5 other deaths.
The man was linked to other deaths? This story is getting wow.
Bodies found on South Carolina man's property were buried for a year.
That's not long. That's not a long time.
Oh, God. No, I don't want to buy it. Spartanburg. Oh, damn, that's Spartanburg, too. That's close.
It is close to y'all?
2 bodies found on the rural property of a South Carolina man linked to 5 other deaths were those of a couple who had a history of panhandling and had been buried there for nearly a year, authorities said Wednesday.
Panhandling. Interesting. What year was this?
November 9th, 2016.
Oh my goodness. Well, also I just had to stir this drink up. I think it just settled.
Yeah,
Tastes great now.
sure. Anywho, yeah. So that's crazy.
That is crazy. Anywho, so spooktacular you said, right? Okay. You want to move into worth the watch?
Spook or boo-tacular. Yeah, we were moving to worth the watch.
All right. So our worth the watch was Fangirl.
I'm gonna give you guys our summary, and then I'm gonna give you the summary that they use for Tubi. You tell me which one is.
How about you give the Tubi one first and then give ours?
So this is a Tubi summary. A social influencer invites a deadly plot into her life by an obsessed fan when she hosts a contest with a grand prize to spend a day with her.
That's not what this says. What are you reading off of? Very interesting. That's not what I have at all.
And what do you have?
A popular influencer hosts a contest for her fans, with the grand prize being a day spent with her. But one woman devises a plan, kill the winner, impersonate her, and get close to the influencer to ultimately kill her.
That's why I said our.
That's not ours though. I got that off of Tubi too. That's the summary I got off of Tubi and put in the notes. Very interesting that there's 2 different versions of this.
Oh well, the Tubi I'm using sucks.
Or maybe they shortened it. Maybe they were like, we don't want to put all those words.
Okay, well, the Tubi you got off, actually, that's what the actual summary of the movie was about. An actual female took. So.
It did make sense. It did.
So basically, another
typical Geechee one effect.
This one woman took another woman's identity to go meet the popular social influencer.
I have so many questions. Go ahead.
So the movie starts with these 2 friends talking, and one friend is going to work, one friend is laying on the couch lounging or whatever, and she's telling her friend, "Look, I'm tired of taking care of you. You need to get a job." Blah blah blah. You've been like this for I don't know, for like a year now. Something she was saying.
Yeah, it's been a year.
So you need to get off the couch. We're behind and stuff. I'm tired of taking care of you. I'm not gonna take care of no grown woman and whoop de whoop, blah blah blah.
Well, no, she's like, we had a deal. We were gonna pay the bills together, all that fun stuff, and you haven't been working at all.
So she goes to work. The other girl starts drinking, and she's watching something. What the hell is she watching?
She's watching a reality show.
So I guess the other girl comes home from work. The girl is still laying on the couch.
You should look up the cast so you can use names instead of other girl.
I just closed out the thing.
But do it on this one.
I don't feel like looking it up.
You're the worst. Anywho.
So, so the friend comes home from work.
Friend comes.
And she pretty much tells her again.
She threatens her. She's like, I'm going to kick you out because we had an agreement. You didn't want to do it. We just had this talk this morning. You haven't moved from this couch. You're still here watching TV, but now you're drinking. So I need you out of the house, basically. And then she goes to take a shower. And her roommate decides it's time for her to die. She goes and kills her in the bathtub. You wouldn't know, though. There's no blood or anything.
This girl is the neatest killer I've ever seen in my life.
No blood.
She's like knocking people over the head and shooting people, and no blood is splattering on her at all.
Nothing. And then she decides to masturbate right there.
She randomly masturbates.
It's not random. They very much affiliated it with her murdering people for whatever reason. It prompts her to then masturbate. The cover for the movie is the main girl, the killer girl, with her hand down her pants.
Felicia Rivers. I got a cousin named Felicia Rivers.
Felicia Rivers is director / creator of PG1 Entertainment.
That could be a family member. That's
so
crazy.
It is your people. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. You can click on the name.
No, you can't. Well, you can. They have no name of the people in the movie.
Yes, they do. There's a cast listing at the bottom.
Yeah.
Shh. You gotta scroll down.
Scrolling down. Nothing.
Oh, are you on Tubi?
Yes.
You have to go to ID. Let's forget it. I'll look it up. I don't even know why you have that computer. You're hilarious. Tubi would not show you the casting. You have to go to IDMB, which would show you the casting. Or IMDb. There you go. That's it. Internet Movie Database.
I'm an IMDb now. I could have already told you this whole movie and moved on with my life.
Goodness gracious, Calvin.
The cast member. Elaine Atkins, contest winner number 2.
That's not who the main girl is, right?
No, but this is the cast, right? I'm looking at the cast. This is what
and I said use the character names. So contest winner number 2 would not be helpful, would it?
There's no pictures.
You're hilarious.
Javon, there's no pictures. There's only pictures of one girl.
You're hilarious.
You're looking at it. There's no pictures.
You don't have to look at the pictures. The names.
Okay, Javon.
Like Country Club extras, we don't need to know who they are.
Demetria, Charity, Lovely, Badass, Austin. Demetria, who's Demetria?
The roommate. That's the lady that kicked her out of the home.
See, if we have pictures, I can.
Elaine Akins is. I like how they have her listed as winner number 2. That's the girl. That's the fangirl who killed. That's her. Demetria, Rachel. Rachel is the influencer. That's the influencer girl that she wanted to be with.
Well, you finally figured out these names and try to put two together. I'm just gonna tell a story. So she kills her friend. After she kills her friend,
Demetria,
she masturbates.
Yeah.
Then she steals pretty much her identity and takes her car.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to the bar, but before she goes to the bar, we get introduced to the contest winners.
Mm-hmm. One winner. There's not multiple winners.
So Mike Ajati is the contest winner number 1. What?
Tom, you said you weren't going to look at that anymore.
I got it up now, and it's distracting the hell out of me.
You can easily take it off.
Yeah, I closed it. So you have the contest winners pulling up to their home and talking about how they won the contest, how she's happy to meet her. The influencer lady, whatever, and the Demetria, whatever, what's her name? Rachel, because she's like her biggest fan, and they're talking. These are only 2 people who I think are from Charleston in the movie, by the way. So they're talking, having a good old time, and she's like, "Yeah, let me get ready, whatever." Fast forward back to the girl that killed her friend. She gets in her friend's car and she drives off. She's like, "I need a drink." So now she goes to the bar. She's at the bar. She meets the bartender. She's talking to him. He's giving her shots or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In walks the contest winner. She starts talking to her. They're talking to each other. And she telling her how she won this contest and she gonna meet her, Rachel, the biggest influencer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she can't wait because she's her biggest fan. Why is she telling this woman who she just met all this information? Who knows? But she's telling all this information. So apparently they sit there and get drunk together. The other girl drives the contest winner to her car. And they're talking. And at some point, she's like, "You never get to meet her." She's like, "What?" She stabs her in the eye. Mind you, no blood hits on her. Nothing. She kills her. She takes her, puts her in the trunk, gets back in the car. Instead of driving off, she decides she's going to masturbate again. While she's masturbating, a policeman comes up, taps on the window, and is like, "Ma'am, license and registration." I don't even know if she handed her the registration on her license.
She handed both over because we were confused as to why he wasn't like, this isn't the right names.
He looks at her, he's like, "Yeah, just want to make sure you're okay. You can, whatever, take you back just because you're illegally parked or whatever."
He doesn't even look at it.
He's like, "Okay, you can leave."
She hands it to him. He hands it right back.
So she leaves and she drives to the influencer's house.
I thought she killed him.
No, she left him alive. She drives to the influencer's house. She gets to an influencer's house. The influencer has his best friend who is overly protective. She has one security guard who...
He's a bodyguard.
Is he, though?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a bodyguard.
He was never there when anything went down.
Because she sent him away. That was the whole premise of him being too controlling. I don't know why he came in with prayer beads every time, but he came in with all his jewelry and layered up bracelets, prayer beads, and was like, "You can't leave the house." Because remember, he stops her and a friend from going to the club, and she's like, "You mad controlling." So then when they have the fan event, she's like, "I don't want him here because he's gonna block blah 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 blah." And the friend was like, "I don't think that's safe." And Rachel was like, "Nah, I know what I'm doing."
So her and her best friend, her manager, was there.
Mm-hmm.
And her
boyfriend,
Nate, who she likes but don't like. Who knows?
She doesn't like, but she likes the status he brings her.
So,
and apparently being choked out by him. So there's that too.
It's also her best friend's boyfriend who I don't know. Anywho.
Yeah, her best friend's boyfriend, this random white man.
They're all sitting there talking and getting to know each other. The best friend is being an asshole. She asked the contest winner girl to rap or whatever.
Oh no, the contest girl says that she can rap. That's why she asked her.
Then rap. I already knew it was going to be some type of sexy red type of rap. I already knew what was going to happen.
Do you remember how it starts?
I shake my pussy for what? I don't know.
Basically, it was just like, yeah. And I like, fuck it raw. And it was like, what? And they were like, you're good. They were like, she's really good.
Duly noted. So
it was so abrupt and random.
Everybody else pretty much starts to mingle and whatever. The contest winner, she's like, anybody want something to drink? And they're like, yeah, go, whatever. She goes down to get drinks.
She used it as an excuse to go get drinks so that she could hit on Nate, Rachel's boyfriend.
And Rachel's boyfriend, who is a good dude, I guess. Who knows?
I disagree with that sentiment.
I think he's a good dude.
I disagree. She tried to break up with this man several times, and he was like, no. He was like, nah.
Okay.
No.
She kept calling him back.
Her manager kept calling him back.
Any way you look at it, he kept getting called back. And when he came back,
but there was
she didn't be like, go away.
No, she did.
Okay.
Remember he showed up and she's like, why are you here? I didn't even ask you to be here. And he's like, I gotta be here.
Anyway.
But the only reason he stayed was because the manager liked him.
He shut her down, went back upstairs. I guess everybody finally leaves.
No, they stayed.
Well, the friend stays. Everybody else kind of disperses and leaves.
So what, Nate comes back in the morning? I thought he stayed the night.
No, he didn't stay the night. It was just the contest winner, the best friend, and Rachel.
Okay. So the guys leave. And the manager
leaves. And I guess she goes and make them drinks, and I guess that's when she slips pills. Oh, I guess first time the friend took the pills by herself.
First time her friend pulled her sleeping pills out of her bag.
Took her pills.
And our crazy woman was like, oh, she got sleeping pills.
And she drank some, was still drinking, popped the pills, went straight to sleep.
Yeah.
Why? Who knows?
Oh, she said that's how she goes to sleep, but also so that they can have sexy time in the bed later. Our fangirl and Rachel decide to get it in for some reason.
So fangirl and Rachel go upstairs to her closet. They try on wigs. The fangirl eats Rachel out.
Yeah.
And they get into bed together and fall asleep.
Yeah.
Friend wakes up like, what's going on here?
Well, so the friend has been jealous this whole time. That's the other context that Calvin has not shared with y'all. Is that there's a love triangle happening for some reason. between the best friend, Rachel, and the fangirl, where the best friend does not trust fangirl whatsoever. She's like, nah, I don't trust this girl. How come you don't know this? Do you know about these songs? What did she wear for this magazine cover? She's kind of jealous.
I'm just trying to speed through this.
You basically are. We're at the end.
So the fangirl. So the friend wakes up the fangirl and Rachel in the kitchen cooking breakfast or whatever. Fast forward. The girl who actually won the contest, mom starts looking for her because she's not answering her phone or picking up. So the mom is like, I don't know.
It's been a couple of days.
It's a couple of days. I'm going to go drive to
North Carolina.
No, were they in North Carolina?
Yeah, she was driving from South Carolina, but everything else was happening in North Carolina.
To North Carolina to see what's up. And she called her cousin to be like, hey, I haven't heard from so-and-so, have you? She's like, nah. He said, you want, so she's like, yeah, I'm about to go to North Carolina. You want to take a little road trip with me? She's like, yeah, we can roll. So they go up to North Carolina to see what's going on and try to find out what's happening and why her daughter ain't picking up the phone. First of all, the mom goes to the police department and is like, hey, my daughter hasn't answered my calls and I think something might have happened to her. So the lady at the counter starts talking to her and taking everything. But all of a sudden, this dude gets up and is like, okay, let me see. And he's like, how long she's been missing? She's like, I haven't talked to her in like 2 days or a day. She's like, she ain't missing. Maybe she don't want to be bothered.
He said 2 days, yeah.
Maybe she ain't missing. Maybe she don't want to be bothered.
No, he asked, how old is she? And that's why he was like, leave. Go away.
Pretty much cuss the lady out and tell the lady, maybe she got to get from.
She ain't missing. She might just be on a trip.
Maybe she's trying to get away from your ass.
He's like, do you know how much resources we waste with calls like this? He acted like this lady been calling him nonstop for days.
So then she leaves. That's when she calls her cousin, and they, I guess, make a trip to go to North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're back to the fake woman who stole the contestants winner identity. So her best friend, Rachel's best friend, and the manager go out shopping.
And they bring fangirl and the best friend with her.
So they're shopping. I guess eventually they come back to the house. At some point, Rachel...
They buy stuff for fangirl.
Yeah. At some point, Rachel has to go to a party with Nate, I guess that's his name.
Uh-huh.
And she goes to this work function party with Nate.
That was before. That wasn't after. The work function thing where she has to meet the bosses, that was before the event. Before her meet and greet with the fangirl. That was before.
Okay, whatever. Well, anywho, long story short.
It's already a long story.
Yeah. Fangirl is still at the Rachel's house. And then why does she start killing folks?
So, fangirl is still at Rachel's house. Best friend finally wakes up and is like, why is this girl still here? They go shopping, they come back. She's like, I don't trust this girl. Why is she still here? Why is she still doing this? Fangirl is like, it's not that big of a deal. We're all friendly. Rachel sticks up for Fangirl and goes, yeah, we're all friendly. It's fine if she stays longer.
Oh, yeah. So then I guess they're back to drinking and having fun that night.
Yes.
She drugs. She puts drinks. She puts sleeping pills in the friend's drink.
And Rachel's drink.
And in Rachel's drink. Puts a friend out. Drags Rachel up to bed. She's out. Then for some reason, she calls Nate over to the house.
Mm-hmm.
She calls Nate over, writes a note, telling him to put on the blindfold. He puts on the blindfold. They go up to, I don't know why she goes up.
She sent a text from Rachel's phone to make it look like Rachel was reaching out to Nate.
I don't know why they go up to the room and start to try to have sex.
Because the note she left was like, the text she left was like, I miss you, come back.
Why go to the bed?
Because
where she's passed out.
Because because the movie's messy.
So she takes her in the bed that Rachel's passed out in. They sit down, they lay on the bed. She starts to
She's laid Nate down, the boyfriend, on the bed right next to Rachel in the same bed. He's blindfolded, and he's like, "Oh yeah, girl," and she starts having sex with Nate.
For like 2 seconds before Nate hits the body. And
Well,
he's like,
yeah,
wait a minute.
Nate rolls and hits legs, and he's like, "What?" And then he takes off the blindfold and realizes his girlfriend's asleep, and the crazy girl's on top of him.
So he's like, you crazy bitch, whatever, what you woo, this and that. All of a sudden, she picks up something off the counter in the bathroom and hits Nate in the head with one shot, knocks Nate out. He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
No blood hits her. She then pleases herself, and the friend wakes up randomly, walks up the steps, starts trying to wake the friend up. Can't wake the friend up.
Because she can't find the fangirl. Fangirl's gone.
Fangirl backs up into the dark, into the bathroom.
She's hiding in the shadows.
Hiding in the shadows. She's trying to figure out what's going on. She turns on the bathroom light and trips over Nate and sees Nate out dead. I don't know how she didn't see Fangirl, but she doesn't see Fangirl.
Well, because Nate's in the bathroom. So she goes and opens the bathroom. She's like, I wonder if the fangirl's in here. But it's Nate on the floor. So then she's like, oh my gosh, call 911. And then Fangirl comes in and kills her too.
So then she hits Nate in the head, hits her in the head. She's out dead. Eventually, Rachel gets up. Rachel trips over. Does Rachel? Rachel trips over the two bodies in the bathroom.
No, Rachel never wake up. The mom comes in.
The mom comes and knock on the door. On the door. I don't know how the mom gets in there. Oh, the manager comes over. With the mom?
No.
The manager's there too, because she gets shot.
The manager shows up for Rachel, because Rachel has more appointments to do.
The manager shows up for Rachel.
The mom only shows up there because she looked at the hotel that her daughter was supposed to be staying at, didn't find her there. So she called up the cousin again and was like, I'm going to head to the influencer's home. Because the address was on the tickets.
Anywho, the manager, she shoots the manager in the shoulder.
Fangirl does, not the mom.
Fangirl shoots the manager. The mom comes over, sees the manager shot. The girl's like, you should have kept your mouth shut. For some reason, she takes her upstairs to the bedroom where Rachel's in. She's like, you should have kept your mouth shut. If you stayed away, you'd probably still be alive. And I guess she goes to shoot the mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cousin comes out of nowhere and shoots her in the back.
Yeah.
And what she say? The cousin says something, which was the best line in the movie to me.
Clearly not, because you don't even know what she said.
Because I forgot this movie on purpose.
I'm just saying, couldn't have been that good.
No. So, and pretty much that's the end of the movie.
Well, then we get some aftermath. The cops finally discovered her friend's body, the roommate's body from earlier in the film. They're like, yeah, it turns out she killed her. She killed the girl who actually won the contest. That's this fangirl that you have was not even the actual winner. She stole this girl's identity.
Oh, she sits everybody down and tell them what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then the end of the movie is them doing like a little memorial service for everybody.
Right.
And the end.
The end.
If you want to laugh and be like, confused, this is the movie for you.
If you want to see some Dirty D familiar faces, this is the movie for you. Nate is the guy from Dirty D.
Waka, waka, waka.
You're so crazy.
And that's pretty much Fangirl.
Yeah.
What do you rate the movie? What do you give it out of?
I'm going to give it a Geechee 1.
You going to give 1 Geechee?
I'm going to give it 1 Geechee.
I give it -1 Geechee.
I'm going to, because Tiffany Doll is where the bar is set for me. Tiffany Doll
gets at least 2 Geechees.
Was getting, it got 4 for me. Got 4 Geechees. Tiffany Doll was elite.
Geechees for me.
Elite.
That
Killer sex robot dolls.
My God.
That they memed the scene. That scene of that lady dodging bullets on the staircase. That's from that movie.
Oh God. Nothing in that movie connected. Nothing.
But it was so much fun.
But it was
so fun.
So bad. It was
so fun.
Good. It was so bad it was good. Nothing, just like in this movie, nothing really connected. There was no reason for her to start killing folks. None.
Well, they were trying to establish that she's just crazy. Like she's just psychopathic.
If that's the case, she just started killing people a long time before that.
To me, it felt like the way the movie ended felt like it was the middle. Like it did. The pacing of this movie was interesting.
Like I said,
Interesting.
she was killing all these people and no blood or evidence was
Mhm.
spilling on her, which was amazing.
Yeah. Very clean killer. Super clean. So I'm gonna see if there's another Geechee one film for us to watch to continue this spooktacular.
Oh God, I gotta get really drunk to watch these.
Listen, this was your idea.
I know. I think I was drunk when I came up with the idea.
You're so crazy.
Now, moving on to Coming from America.
Woo woo.
Yes.
It's actually episode 5, not episode 3, like it says in this notes. But yeah, Coming from America is the show that's on HBO Max about families who are moving from the States to Africa and what those journeys entail. Our families this episode
America.
include
Yes.
the Kelly family. We still have the Smiley family out of Zambia.
They're not the Kelly family anymore. They're the Nahara family. What's their name?
They actually don't have an African last name. All of their new names are first names.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Continue.
And then we have the expat family that they've showcased a couple of times but haven't really focused on. They finally get their due diligence in the 5th episode of a 6-episode series.
Let's talk about them right quick.
All right, so that's the Joneses, aka the expat family. They actually have a social media following based on how they became expatriates of the U.S. They left Texas to move to Ghana full time,
Texas.
and they've been there for 3 years at this point. The storyline that they've got for this episode
Pretty
is
much.
thinking about moving back to the States.
No, well, one wants to move back to the States. The wife wants to move back to the States. The husband doesn't want to.
Correct. The wife wants to move back because her mom is still out that way. And just like she moved to Africa for her father, because they didn't move for themselves. They moved to be close to her dad because he was about to pass. He was sick. But they stayed because her husband seemed to like really grow as a person out that way. He was really connecting with living out that way. But she's realizing she's got limited time with her mother, so she wants to go back to the States. But he is not on board with that just yet. And there's a lot of discussion about how he feels as a black man and how he's perceived in society in terms of the United States versus Ghana.
Yeah. So this pretty much this movie. I mean, this episode of them, I guess, going on a little vacate. Or vacay.
Joneses don't go on a vacation.
Well, they went on a little.
They went to a golf course.
Javon, they went to something together.
Yeah, the golf course. They went on a little boat excursion, and then they went to the golf course.
Went on like a little vacay, whatever.
The family that goes on the vacation is the Zambia family.
They went on a little excursion.
Mm-hmm.
And during the excursion, they sat down and talked. And they came to an agreement that they're going to stay. Yay.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't come to an agreement.
Yeah. The wife said I decided we should stay because of how he feels and what it means to him and how.
She said it was still up in the air because of how he feels.
She said they're going to stay.
Interesting.
She literally said they're going to stay.
Interesting.
Because she said,
we know they stay because they're doing the recaps and they're still in Ghana.
Because she said, you made up your mind. And she said, you already told me you want to be buried here. He's like, yeah. And she's like, because that's why she said the whole Dodge trial, but the being black to him was different from me being black.
But she also had the confessional about her mom.
Yeah. But she said, I can't do that to him. I will feel regret for making him leave.
That's what I thought they left it on, was her saying that she'd have regret. I didn't see the part where she was like, nah, we don't have to move, period.
Yeah. She said, we'll stay.
Interesting.
And he said, yeah, we'll go back and forth or go back to visit or whatever more often.
Because her concern was the housing situation. Their lease was going to be up in Ghana as well as their lease in Texas. So she was concerned about that because if they are going to go back and forth, they're going to have to think of new accommodations for them in the States.
She also said he's well established in Ghana too. So she said, yeah, they're staying.
Okay.
So,
I guess she said, fuck her mom. I'm going to stay here. Sounds good to me.
No, I don't think she said screw her mom. I think what I think might end up happening is she'll go back for a month or two, and then she'll probably come back.
By herself? She said they don't do well separated. That was the whole point of the move.
But it's only a month or a week or two at a time.
That was his whole speech about how like he doesn't like that when they're separated.
Well, he's gonna have to make
when
some.
I'm here and the kids are her and the kids are
I'm not
gone,
saying
or
that's.
vice
I'm not
versa.
saying that's what they're doing. I'm saying that's what she's gonna apparently kind of have to do. That
Very
they're not
interesting.
moving back.
Very interesting.
And moving on to the Kelly family. Pretty much the Kelly family. Gerald and Lamara go to counseling for their marriage, and I guess it kind of works.
It's after Gerald's failed attempt to propose to her again, against the well wishes of his sons, who are like, she's not gonna like that. He's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then she didn't like it. So he's like, yes, I'm gonna talk with our new church pastor about the relationship. In my opinion, I don't think he took none of it seriously. So it will be interesting to see how far they get.
Really, you don't think he took any? Well, I guess.
No, I
Yeah.
don't.
So
Lamar is like, I don't think we have enough communication. He expects me to do so much stuff, but at the same time, he inhibits me from doing so much stuff. And we're kind of at a crossroads.
crossroads.
And he goes, yeah, I just want a happy marriage. Like, that's what he said. That's what he says.
Lonely. So after that, they go to participate in a naming ceremony. I guess when you come to
What about they do the naming ceremony after Hunter's forced to play soccer with some kids. Their youngest.
well, this is none older. Lamar. So eventually, Lamar takes Hunter. What's the other kid's name? Josh, and they go like on a walk.
No, they were looking for a park. Josh had a football in his hands.
So they pretty much are walking, and he's like going to try and take them to the park to get to know the local kids or whatever. They see the local kids playing soccer in the dirt. They go over it, and they're like nervous. And she's like, "You guys want to play? I go talk to the coach." And they were like,
Because
"No,
they're in
don't do it."
uniforms. These are soccer teams playing. They're not just soccer
So
kids in the park.
she goes over, talks to the coach. The coach said, "Yeah, they can play." The coach pulls out uniforms and gives it to them, and be like, "Hey, you guys on the blue team. You only pass the ball to the blue team." I'm pretty sure they could have figured that out.
Well, I think he wanted to make sure because they both said they've never played soccer before.
So they play, they have fun. Hunter's like, you know what? I'm starting to have fun here.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, they end up going to participate to like a
Naming ceremony
for
them. They get
for
adopted
the
by
village.
a family.
For the village. Every time when a new family comes, the village adopts them. Somebody from the village adopts them, and they get a new name.
They get their cultural name.
Their cultural name. So they go through that. They all get their cultural names. They get wrapped in a cultural traditional garments. They start to get one with the culture there, and pretty much
they get emotional about it.
that's it for the Kelly family.
Okay.
They still haven't.
What did you think of their emotional responses to the naming ceremony? Like, the older people were really into it, but I think the kids were like, "It's cool. It's fine. It's cool. Whatever."
I get it.
Okay. What do you get about it, Calvin?
It's the whole culture of not knowing who you are, finding your ancestry. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it.
I liked what the guy said. So the guy that's running the ceremony, who does the naming, talks about how, like, even though their what's the word, ancestors were stolen from that area, they therefore had their culture and their cultural identity stolen. So this is a way for them to kind of gain some of it back by having this connection with the names. I thought that was really poignant. That would have made me cry. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure it is.
And they poured one out for the ancestors. And I was like, is that related to what we do?
Has nothing to do with what we do.
It's very similar in sentiment.
Similar.
It's very interesting.
Smiley family. You want to talk about them?
I guess so. I guess you're done. So, yep, Smiley family. They're in Zanzibar. We don't know how. They've rented a house on the beach. This is the same family that said they had no money. So I don't know how they're doing all of this.
They went to Zanzibar, the restaurant.
No.
I'm sorry.
The actual place.
The actual place.
It's beautiful though. It looks like a Caribbean island.
They're there. She FaceTimes her mom, talks to her mom, and her mom's like, I'm coming.
No, she convinces her mom to come.
Her mom says, I'm coming. But before all that, they're at home, and I guess the help
Mm-hmm.
decides, you guys are going to try a traditional food. She starts to fry caterpillars for them.
Yeah.
And she said, I think that's how caterpillars would smell if it was cooking.
Who's she?
I don't know.
The help?
This is
Elaine?
Elaine. And I'm like, I don't know how caterpillars would smell.
They mean like outside in grass, probably.
Sure. Okay. So the husband
It's like, I'll try one.
I try one. He tries. He's like, it tastes like.
He said it tastes like French fry. And
Tastes
he's
like
like,
French
one
fries.
more for luck. And they're like, do you want more? And he goes, no, 2 is enough.
So
not like French fries is what I'm getting.
yeah. So now fast forward, they're in Zanzibar, and she calls her mom. Mom says, I'm coming. So wait a minute. So the mom flies out that same week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know how long they're in this house in Zanzibar.
That's what I'm saying. They was there. I'm like.
But the other thing is you can FaceTime from anywhere. So she could have been FaceTiming from a hotel, from like a layover, in the airport itself. You can FaceTime from anywhere. She didn't say she was at home.
I'm assuming she was at home when she FaceTimed her.
I don't know. That's a 32-hour flight.
That's what I'm saying. That only makes sense.
Not to me. You can definitely FaceTime from the airport.
It makes, well.
From a production standpoint, it makes absolute sense for her to FaceTime from the airport.
Yeah.
Because they FaceTime her going on to the plane and everything. Or not FaceTime. Taped all of that.
Well, yeah. Look, she was in the same outfit. So, yeah. So, it sounds like they were trying to say she was at home when she made the decision, and then
they didn't say anything. I think you just presumed that because she was against a white backdrop.
Anything else?
It was short. Also, how are they in Zanzibar? Also, he got the contract for teaching to confirm that he's going to be in Zambia for a little bit longer.
For another 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the Smiley family.
We only got one more episode to go.
The grandma comes. They're happy.
We haven't seen the Davises, which is the train wreck of let's keep moving. Maybe we'll find something. Family. And they just introduced us to the Joneses. And there's only one more episode left. I don't know how they do a season 2 of this.
There's not going to be a season 2. I already knew that.
You don't think the Kellys are going to stick it out?
No.
Okay.
I think the only people that are staying there are
the expat family that's already there.
Yeah, and the
Davis family.
Davis, maybe.
Okay.
Well, the Davis family, because their mom is living off hope and dreams and new vibes.
Mm-hmm. But you're saying like the Smiley family because they're contractually
and
obligated.
The Smiley family, they're contractually obligated to be there, so them.
But if the Kelly family does get this comedy thing off the ground, they'll be contractually obligated for the space they're renting.
We haven't seen them do a show.
They're getting closer and closer to doing it. She was finding artists to put with the show.
Sure.
I think that's the finale, is them finally doing the show.
Yeah, whatever. We'll see. And that's pretty much coming from America.
Woo, on to Life After Lockup. New season. Same couples.
After Lockup.
I thought Shanta and True were in here. I could have swore at the end of Love during Lockup, or Love After Lockup, they said that we were going to see them in Life After Lockup, but I'm going to have to go back and check.
So the couples we have are Zariah and Troy.
Or Zaruya, as her sister says, and Troy. Yep.
Zambuki and Troy. Kim and Joey. Bianca and Daniel. I don't know if you remember Bianca and Daniel from 2 seasons.
No, they were last season.
I mean, last season. I'm thinking of Justine and Michael, who were like from 2 seasons ago.
They were the last Life After Lockup. They were the last one. Right before they did Love Before Lockup. Besides, everybody remembers Michael, rapping master Michael.
And Melissa and Louie, and
that's it.
One more couple.
No.
The two that were in prison together.
Oh, I forgot to include Karak and what's her face.
Karak.
Yeah, you're right.
I know we were missing one. So I looked at them like we're missing somebody.
Right. Did you look up all the rest of the names? You got it on your computer? Nope. I'm so glad you have this computer open.
Yeah, I'm so glad to.
Who do you want to start with?
So Zariah and Troy. So she finally takes Troy to the
Brittany, Karak and Brittany.
Karak and Brittany. So Zariah finally takes Troy to the what kind of
to her nonprofit
to nonprofit office.
What was it called again? It's like the Heal or something, or a
Healing
Sanctuary, something of that nature.
Takes patients. I don't know.
But it's supposed to be a nonprofit geared towards reassimilation of ex-parolees or ex-convicts or people just getting out of prison. It's supposed to give them like another resource to kind of help them get their feet on the ground. They've got therapists. They've got people to help them get employed. It's supposed to be another resource center for that, which is good in theory. On paper, sounds fantastic.
So he goes to the office, he meets everybody, and pretty much sees his office.
Is it everybody? It can't be a crew of 4. It can't be.
I'm just assuming that's everybody.
Okay.
He goes to his office. He's happy he has an office and whatever.
It's a cute. Honestly, the space is cute. The little office space is cute.
But that happiness lasts only 10 minutes, maybe 20. They go home. They wake up the next morning and they're talking. And she finally tells him that she's 2 months behind on the paying the lease and behind on the rent.
Yeah.
And he's like mad. She doesn't understand why he's mad. Then she tries to gaslight. This is why people say they want the truth, but then they can't handle it. So that's why you shouldn't tell them the truth. I'm like, no, that's not the issue. The issue is you don't wait till the last minute to tell them something when it's at DEFCON 5.
Yeah, it was a lot to drop on him. She was like, we're 2 months behind on leasing payment. I can't meet the rent for our own place here for this month. The nonprofit is not profiting. We're not making much money. So yeah. And he's like, what?
So she acts like him overreacting is because she told him.
He just got out of jail also. He still has an ankle monitor on. I'm sure he's supposed to have confirmed employment, which is supposed to be this place that she's running. So there's a lot on stake for him as well.
But she doesn't realize you told him something without. It's like you told, oh, by the way, we're about to die. And he's supposed to go, oh, well, it's okay. We can figure something out.
It added Brittany and Karak.
And I'm like, no, that's something I needed to know a long time ago.
She was like, people want you to be honest with them, but they can't handle it. Girl, the way you trauma dumped on him, like, what?
That's the issue.
It's not like he knew all along. I know.
You're literally telling me we have our foot is in the fire.
Yeah, you're literally telling me it's already too late for us to do anything to correct this. So what do you mean? And he goes and takes a walk, and she's like, he can't be wearing a hot pink do-rag and being all black. People are going to think he's a thug. I'm like, that's what they're going to think? That's what they're going to... That's the issue? So
apparently, Troy makes a call to somebody, and the person comes to pick him up or whatever. Who we don't know what it is.
Why is Troy still there? What? Even her sister, they had a standalone confessional side with her sister, who also lives in that house with them. Because they're no longer in the rental apartment where they had been staying. They're now living at her house. Who's like, yeah, he's just not used to her isms yet. So he always looks like a sad puppy. And I'm like, girl, you don't think your sister needs to talk to somebody at this point? I'm confused.
Ask them, what do they know? Moving on to Kim and Joey. Kim is a year younger than Joey?
Yeah. Even though it looks the opposite. And he was in prison. Yeah. Because Joey is straight out of 2003, as I've told y'all. It's only going to be FUBU polos and
for us, by us.
Yes. And those hats, I forget what you call them. Those baseball hats.
Anywho, so Kim is in the garage getting stuff together with her mom. to do a garage sale, possibly, because she needs money.
Because he's not working.
So while she's doing that, she's making sure Joey is driving the kids and dropping the kids off.
Mm-hmm.
If you always got to check up on somebody, see where they at, maybe you don't need to be with them. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, she is a serial cheater, and she is now married to a serial cheater, or trying to get married to another serial cheater.
The person she cheated
So
with, yeah, makes sense.
she's like,
So
I don't know. He might be up to stuff because, he cheated on my cousin with me, and I cheated on my not husband at the time, apparently, boyfriend with him.
so now they're in a car with the kids and they're driving around, and Joey's like, you was sleeping with me when you were with the other guy, and then you got randomly pregnant, and then I went to jail. We should just see if so and so is my child.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, Joey talks her.
Her eldest. He's talking about Kim's eldest.
So finally, Joey talks Kim into doing a paternity test. They take the swabs. They act like they were doing COVID swabs. But I don't think that kid's smart enough. I'm like, wait a minute, COVID swabs go in my nose, not my mouth.
No, that's not true. First of all, he's 5. There's that. And for the kids, it doesn't go in their nose.
Sure, whatever. So they do it. He mails it off, and he's like, "We'll see."
I wonder why he did that. You can literally go to the drugstore and get a paternity test that'll show you same day. You don't got to mail it to nowhere. So I wonder why they did it the way that they're doing it.
Storyline. Same thing you tell me all the time.
But it would still be the same storyline if you went and got the CVS drug test.
No, the storyline would be ended faster. They got to string it along.
I guess.
Bianca and Daniel. Pretty much, Daniel's out. They're at the house.
Apartment.
Same thing.
Not really.
Sure it is. Bianca's like, we're gonna get it in. Daniel's like, yeah, we're gonna get it in. They get it in, wake up the next morning, and I don't know.
And Bianca's upset. For whatever reason, they love to share. Daniel romanticizes the ish out of it. He's like, I melted into her. We looked into each other's eyes. It was a meeting of the souls. Bianca's like, he stuck it in. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Nothing else for her. I don't know what she was expecting. My theory is that, because she said they did a lot of phone sex and a lot of dirty texting. My theory is that she thought it was going to be like that, where it was a lot of talking and dramatization. And then real life was like, but she's like, I got to give him credit. He has been in prison for like the last 5 years. My expectations can't be too high. But I'm also like, what did you communicate? Did you communicate anything to him? Anyway. Anywho, then he's making breakfast. And she's going in about how he has to stay at that apartment because if his parole officer tells him that he inevitably has to go to the halfway house, she's going to be pissed because she's dropped at least 20 grand on this man and spent another 8,000 just to move to Arizona. And he's like, yeah, okay. He's not taking the rage bait at all. He's just like, okay, yeah. And they're eating the breakfast and she's like, you should have made me coffee. And he's like, you can make yourself coffee. And she goes, but I spent all this money on you. I moved my whole life for you. You can make me coffee. And he's like, are you trying to manipulate the situation right now? I don't appreciate you emotionally manipulating me.
I don't know if you know, bitch, I went to therapy and I listened to the therapist. So I know what you're doing.
He's like, did you do this because you loved me or because you wanted like a quid pro quo? And she goes, because I loved you.
Exactly.
And he goes, okay. And then her confessional is like, I don't know why he's being such a bitch about this. Why he's so triggered.
Just like my therapist told me it would happen.
I want to know what he's expecting.
Exactly.
He is a 31-year-old man who is messing with a 23-year-old who nearly lost her life in the influence situation and refuses to stop drinking. What does he think is going to happen? What does she think is going to happen? What is her ideas about what they're going to be doing? He's trying to stay in sobriety for the most part right now. What does she think that's going to look like? I have so many questions.
Ecstasy.
Not ecstasy.
When you lay next to me. Oh. Justin and Michael, they decided to have their 19th kid.
Justine. Justin is a man's name.
Justine, who cares? she gonna wish she was a man having all these goddamn kids.
Someone told her to keep doing this, raw dog.
So they're just had a baby and about to have another one, a boy.
Like super, like she barely had this other baby and she's pregnant again. It hasn't even been a full year.
Basically, the whole episode is her being told, "Hey, your uterus is not gonna push this out. It's done."
We find out during her ultrasound that the doctors had already told her it wouldn't be safe for her to have a vaginal birth again. Which is crazy.
Do you think it's because it's so close to the last one?
Yes, I do. I do think it's because it's so close. I also wouldn't be surprised if she had other complications with her other children. So she's got, I want to say 3.
No, she's got like 4 or 5.
No, that are just hers. Because her and Michael also has his own kids.
Yeah,
that's how they have the 9.
I know that she's got about 3 or 4 herself.
I think it's 3. She's got 3 because then his son went to live with them and that was the 4th kid. So she's got 3 on her own. She now has a 4th kid with the little girl, Manhattan Barbie. And now she's working on her 5th. I wouldn't be surprised if her body already went through medical trauma with the previous pregnancies. And because she's pregnant again, so that baby is like what, 3 months, 4 months old? That baby's not that far along at all. Hello, Calvin? Hello, are you here? Hello?
Yes. I'm listening.
Okay, so what do you think? That baby's not even a year.
Yeah.
And she's pregnant. And she's, how many, do you remember how many weeks?
Seems like she got pregnant before the other one got popped out.
I think they said she's 15 weeks along.
17, I think.
17. So that's close to 4 months. So yeah, as soon as she had that baby, she basically got pregnant again. That is a lot on your body. Your body's still healing from the delivery. And now she's got another baby growing in that uterus. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the situation. But she's just like, you are at risk for all kinds of stuff. We could try to do a C. Oh, because she already had 2 I can't even talk. She had 2 C-sections previously. If she has 3 kids and she had 2 C-sections and a vaginal birth is too much for her, she's had complicated pregnancies back to back to back, which is a lot. So, and also they're like, you might want to get stuff in order. There's a high chance that this can result in your death. It really can. It might be a situation where it save the baby or just save you or what you want to do. Just in case, try to get your stuff in order, get your will, all of that. And she's trying to have this conversation with Michael about what she wants to do. Michael doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to even think about it. And she's like, well, we got to do something. They also talk about, I forget what they call it, but basically taking out her tubes or having him get a vasectomy. And he's like, I don't want to get a vasectomy just in case other stuff doesn't work. And she's like, well, I'm not trying to get my tubes tied. But it's like, you guys got to do something. And especially after the birth of this baby, they're going to be in you anyway. You might as well go ahead and get your tubes tied. Oh, because she might also have to, she's at risk of another emergency hysterectomy, which is when they take everything out. So they're dealing with that right now. Is she going to continue with this pregnancy? Is she not? Is she going to get other stuff in place just in case? Like, what is she going to do? Also, they moved to Las Vegas and they overspent. So they're struggling with money.
And that's Justine Timberlake and what's his face?
Michael?
Mikael. Now moving on to the last couple for episode 1. Brittany and Zarok.
I put Karak in our notes and it changed it to Carrie.
They're packing and getting ready to move to Texas. I don't know how they're gonna get this stuff in that one U-Haul they got, because obviously no one took a packing class. Nor did anyone try to put anything in that truck in order.
I disagree. I think the packing is fine. It's just not organized in that truck. It's like a bunch of bags on the ground and then furniture on top of the bags, boxes thrown wherever.
It's not organized.
I agree. It's not organized. I agree.
It's
just thrown in there.
Yeah. So when they're driving,
it's going to crush everything.
Exactly. So
but they're not going to drive because they can't go anywhere.
So while they're going to get an oil change for the car, Zarok gets a call. Karak gets a call from the parole officer, and he's like,
actually not the parole officer, a representative for the parole officer.
And that person goes, look, Texas don't want your ass. Oh, we don't.
We don't
Texas,
know if Texas wants your ass.
Texas hasn't given us an
A
okay
yay or a nay.
or yeah or nay if they're
Yeah.
gonna take you. So we're working it out now. It's gonna take another probably 30 days.
And Karak goes off.
And she's like, I already.
He's like, what you mean? We're already set to move. We already moved out of the house. We have nowhere else to go. I quit my job. What are you talking about?
And the person goes, why would you do that without having confirmation that you can go?
The person's like, I don't know why. The person was like, I don't know that it was wise to make all these decisions without getting, confirmation that you can go to that
just
state.
assume. We already told you Texas is a different breed of state.
What tricked me, they never said that, but everybody else knows that. But what tripped me out was Karak getting mad at the parole officer, being like, of course I would make those decisions. Why wouldn't I make those decisions to start moving? And it's like, because you don't know if you can.
And I'm pretty sure when they told them where they were moving, the person told them, okay, Texas is a little different than every other state.
I doubt it.
There's no way. I'm sorry. We can't keep saying these.
You are not close to the mic.
We can't keep saying these people ain't telling them a lot of information. I think they told them information. Now, whether they paid attention or listened is a different story. But I'm pretty sure they told them something like, hey, it's going to take a while.
I think they say the same thing whenever you're trying to move to another state, because they did it with Louis and Melissa's little storyline. They tell you the same thing. Listen, we can try to do an interstate transfer for you. Try is the word. It's up to that state to agree to that transfer or not agree. And that seems to be what they say a lot of times. With the other people that are also trying to go to a different state, that's the same thing they say when they're talking to their POs.
Pretty sure that, and I'm pretty sure they also, every state is different.
I don't know that they go into a full explanation necessarily. But I think they tell them, first, the state you're in has to agree to release you. And then secondly, the state you're trying to go to has to accept you. And if that doesn't go down, then you can't go.
What happened is Virginia accepted the release.
Yeah.
And they just assumed Texas accepted it.
Probably. Because Karak goes on to say that Virginia was fine with him leaving. But he doesn't understand. But to Karak, they're like, Texas has canceled it. They've said they're not going to do it. But that's not what the parole person has said at all. And
then after the person's like, no, we can get you some places to stay until this gets resolved or whatever happens.
He said a motel. He didn't say we're going to get you a place to stay. They said I have a list of places for you to check out.
Check out. He didn't have to do that. So pretty much Ciroc is going off. Brittany comes over.
Karak, not Ciroc.
She's going off and Brittany comes over like, what's wrong? And he tells her and she goes, let me talk to him. Mm-hmm. Like something's going to actually change. Mm-hmm. But she calmly talks to him and he lets her know, look, we never told you guys to do what you did.
Correct.
So it's going to take maybe another 30 days to see if they're going to yay or deny it. So we don't know what to tell you.
But Karak is upset. He's like, I'm supposed to be the provider. I had these plans to help provide for my family. And now all of that is, put on the back burner basically for right now, because I don't know if I can even leave and go there. Here's my other question, though. He doesn't have a job over there. Brittany talks about how she thinks there's more opportunity for HVAC positions out that way. But he doesn't have a set job out that way.
Why?
Why what?
Why did you think there's more opportunities for HVAC?
I have no idea.
Wouldn't it be more on the East Coast?
Because there's more weather on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Maybe she's thinking because it's so hot in Texas, they need people to look at air conditioning nonstop. Maybe, I don't know what her logic is. No idea. But yeah, it's not like he's got to report to a job. Is my whole thing. My other question though is if he has to get the permission of the state to enter, and the permission of the current state he's in to be released, is he still doing probation?
I think both of them have to. Yes.
Then, but they also haven't talked about Brittany. So was Brittany okayed and Karak was it?
I don't know. But it would suffice why Texas is moving slow or dragging their feet, because Karak's charges are drug and all that stuff. So they already have a big drug problem up there.
Every state has a drug problem, though.
But Texas is one of those places where the drugs come through and pass
They're
through.
imported.
They're like one of the hubs.
Okay. Virginia's not? It's right there on the coast.
Not really.
Okay.
So that's pretty much Love After Lockup
Uh-huh.
in a nutshell.
All right.
What else are you watching or looking at?
I looked at Love is Blind. I watched all 6 episodes that dropped this week for Love is Blind DC. One, these people are definitely not from DC at all. They're all either implants or they grew up in the surrounding areas like Fairfax or Arlington, Bethesda, Rockville, all of that. And that seems to be like the local sentiment is like none of these mo's are from DC or from DC whatsoever. Baltimore. So, secondly, there's a lot of discussion around race with this particular season. One of the people on the show, this guy named Steven, just dropped a lot of information at one time. He was a former Trump supporter, but he's trying to be a centrist when it comes to his politics, which is a big thing out this way. He also discovered that his family has a lot more black in them than he thought because he's quite white passing. And it turns out that like the family history is that they try to kind of get rid of or dismiss the black heritage. His grandmother very much stoically was like, we're Italian, and didn't even want them to do DNA testing, but one of his sisters did it anyway, and that's how they found out. So he, in an effort to reconnect with his roots, has looked up a lot of books on his African ancestry, all on the west side. So like Nigeria, Ghana, and the like. And the woman that he has got engaged to is a woman who identifies as being biracial or multiracial. It doesn't necessarily identify as black. So it's been a circus on social media about what all of this is. He also calls her a mutt because she says she's mixed. She agrees. Uh, but also, she can't stand him at the same time. And it was like, yeah, it was really important to me to know like what kind of college background you had and what you brought to the table in terms of like corporate work ethic. And he's a blue collar electrician. So hilarious to say the least. All of that's going on. Toxicity is happening amongst the couples. It's fun. Right now it's fun. I'm interested to see where in DC these people go, where they're gonna house them, and all of that. I'm interested to see where this is gonna happen. So yeah, I'm watching Love is Blind right now. How about you?
My guilty pleasure is back on I Love a Mama's Boy season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much you got the old steady couple, Matt and Kelly. Pretty much Matt is the one who lives on
First of all, that's not a couple. That is a mom and a son.
They're a couple.
Oh my god.
They pretty much Matt lives on his mom's compound. She built him a she built him
Her
a house.
homestead. Her homestead.
She built him a little house on the compound and he stays there. The next mom and dad, mom and son couple.
Mm-hmm.
I said mom and dad. That's pretty much what it kind of is like. Is Shahid, Dia, and Nyla. Shahid and Dia are the mom and son, and Nyla is the girlfriend. Pretty much. And the third couple, third mom and dad,
Mom and son.
mom and son are Joshua and Tina, and Janelle is the wife. Pretty much they're a reality, not a reality,
social brand influencer
couple that's on the show. There's also Austin and Christopher. They're the couple, and Charlene is the mom.
They're not a couple.
But they're kind of off and on couple.
They're currently broken up. They're not even together.
So Christopher is trying to think about getting back with Austin, and he knows his mom does not like him, but they're trying to work their differences out.
Yeah.
Anywho, and I think that's and one more. We haven't met them yet. Chase and Lori are the mom and son, and Natasha is the girlfriend. So pretty much, this is my guilty pleasure. I love it, love watching it. But sometimes you should keep your guilty pleasure to yourself because other people can kill
your joy.
Your joy. i.e., the person sitting next to me. But I,
What?
I
I
guess,
watched the first 2 episodes with you. What you talking about?
and you complained the whole time. I think this season is a lot of influencers on here. That's what I guess is killing it. Because you say Shahid Onila is a influencer, right?
Right, but she's not like a couple influencer.
Well, but she's an influencer
Right, but for her, like for makeup and stuff.
for makeup and stuff.
But
And
that the other family, the twins, they're literally a family influencing brand. Their whole thing is that they're twins who are super involved with each other.
so the Shahid and Nala, it doesn't seem real.
It doesn't.
It seems like she needed somebody to be in here.
I disagree. I think he needed it. I think he needed somebody
Oh,
because she already has, like I said, she already has a following.
seemed like he needed somebody. And she's like, let me get my friend. And she's like, you're gay. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm going to pretend to be straight for this show. And she goes, okay, let's get this money. And he goes, yes.
That was homophobic.
So I don't believe them. They seem fake. Joshua and Tina, pretty much I've been told this is their niche. Janelle always feeling like she's left out, or I guess what would you call it?
What?
You said Joshua and Tina. Well, Joshua and Janelle, their niches, I guess. He's always doing stuff, and she's like, "Why are you doing this?" The gloomy downer, Debbie Downer one.
The Debbie Downer one. Oh, the twins.
Yeah.
His whole thing is that his mom will do anything he wants her to do. That's the whole niche. His wife takes care of everything, but is second to his mom. That's their niche.
Okay. So I'm gonna continue to watch because I like the show and I like to laugh. And the originals, Matt and Kelly, never they always make everything exciting, especially Kelly, because Matt can never do anything by himself. She just popped the hell up and just destroys him and makes him look bad. He goes on a speed dating.
Destroys him?
Yeah, he's doing speed dating, and she just fucking pops up at the bar with the girl sitting there, and he's talking to her.
Did they show the speed dating in this episode? Oh, you already watched that episode.
I haven't watched. I'm going to watch it today, but that's pretty much what the summary was or whatever. And she pretty much destroys the speed dating date for him. That Matt is never going to find anybody because of Kelly.
I don't think he wants to. To be fair,
I think
I don't think he does.
He'll find someone when Kelly dies. I said Shahid. I don't think he likes girls, but they're going to make it work anyway. The other couple is pretty much doing what they do on social media on the show now. So, it is what it is. Austin and Christopher. I don't know.
I like them. They're my favorite couple because, wait, who's the son? Austin or Christopher?
I think Austin is the son.
Christopher is not with the shit. He's he's quick to call somebody out. I love that.
Because he's a big angry man.
He's fine. If you like chocolatey, muscled men, enjoy. Enjoy yourself.
That likes penis.
That's emotionally unavailable to you. Enjoy yourself.
And likes penis, then you're good. Like I said, we haven't been chasing Lori and Natasha yet.
There's more couples? Or more couples. There's more more stuff.
There's only one more.
Okay.
I wanted the Asian girl and
the Indian guy
back.
Oh gosh.
Because I love how his mom just torments her.
You know why they're not back?
Why?
It was all acting.
Oh, yeah.
And they promoted it that way on their socials, that it was all acting.
Yeah, so. But that's what I'm watching. That's all I got, really.
Okay. I watched another episode of Real Elm Street Murders. It's still really good. The stories are still like, what is happening? There was a cult. There was a cult that was happening in this place in Missouri. They were trying to recruit members. One of the members wasn't with the shit. He was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm out. And they were like, let's murder him because he said no. So they went to that house. They murdered everybody in that house, except for one girl because they forgot about her in their midst of trying to murder everybody. And then they get called in. They get caught because it's not hard to find them. They go to trial. They're laughing the whole time in trial because they believed that this God that they believed in was going to, save them from having to serve any time. It didn't. They are in jail for life. So it was a ride and a half.
Yeah.
He said,
I get caught up on the Elm Street murders too. Actually, I saw the episode. That was crazy. I'm like, stay off Elm Streets, I guess. That's what they're trying to tell me. Gotcha.
Stay off Elm Street. But that's it. That's all I got. You got anything else?
Of course not.
Okay.
It is done.
Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.